wild. They're already doing deals. Like they're trying to give you a free tire change. They're trying to give you a free car wash and all types of stuff to get out to these games. This is wild. Look at how empty this arena is. Look at how empty it is. The cheapest ticket, $6.
Playoff tickets cheaper than dinner. That's not a headline. It's a stress test. If the postseason is supposed to be the peak of the year, why do some seats look like clearance? Something deeper is happening than a slow Tuesday. It's demand, confidence, and one missing superstar bending an entire market in real time. When a league rides a lightning bolt, the ride is unforgettable until the lightning flickers. One player sits, and the graphs start gasping. The story isn't just about empty rows or soft prices. It's about how fragile momentum can be when it leans too hard on a single pillar. But that wasn't the whole story. It was the first crack.
WNBA is in a panic right now. The WNBA higher-ups are panicking. They don't know what's going to happen. I already let y'all know. I showed y'all the numbers that they was concerned about the playoff ratings and what they will be for the networks. They're concerned about it already. No Caitlin Clark here to carry everybody. They don't know how these numbers are going to look. Tickets are they're already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are teams already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets.
Before the injury talk, remember the surge. Nights turned into occasions. Regular season games felt like premieres. Social feeds were a fire hose of clips, logo threes, lasers through tight windows, the kind of highlights that sell themselves in 9 seconds. Buildings reconfigured, walk-up lines stretched. For months, the league felt louder than it had in years. That spike wasn't hype, it was conversion. Families booked trips around road dates. Opponents shifted into bigger arenas to catch the wave. Teams that had never sniffed sellouts were suddenly wrangling waitlists. That's the gravity of a generational draw. It doesn't just fill seats, it reprograms habits. And once people rewire the week around a team, the cash register doesn't stop buzzing.
In this back and forth from all the WNBA players that the league is not just Caitlin Clark. Stop acting like the league is not just Caitlin Clark. There are other people who are doing things. So Caitlin Clark has been injured, so she hasn't been playing. Since Caitlin Clark went down, the WNBA ratings have dropped over 55%.
Yikes.
Across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark.
Then came a quiet line with a deafening echo. She's out? A groin strain isn't a headline word, but the aftermath was. Cameras still found her on the bench, smiling, talking, coaching with her eyes, yet the stat lines went blank. The sport didn't stop. The mood did. In one update, the must-see turned into a maybe later. You could feel the oxygen thin. Timelines swapped fresh highlights for remember that pass? Clips. Analysts softened predictions. Road crowds lost that extra pitch of noise. Even the pregame felt different. Shorter lines at merch stands, fewer phones up during warm-ups. It wasn't panic. It was gravity letting go.
It's understandable in this era to figure that tickets for playoff games are more expensive than the regular season, but fever tickets for Tuesday night remain very affordable. $12, $13. I don't know what they're going to lie about as far as attendance goes. We're going to get into that momentarily. There are tons of tickets, hundreds of tickets available, if not thousands of tickets still available for tonight's game at a cheap price of a hoagie sandwich and a bag of chips from Wawa.
Attention moves first on television. Without a focal point, casual viewers drift. Broadcasts still hit, but the spikes that once broke charts became steady hills. That's what star power does. It compresses the undecided into the now. Remove it, and the undecided resume being undecided. In the building, the shift is brutal and simple. If the headliner's not in uniform, some fans press pause. That doesn't mean they're gone. It means they'll return when the reason returns. Hardcore supporters stick. Families with flexible plans pivot. The body heat you feel in a packed arena is half loyalty, half lightning. Take away the lightning, and loyalty works alone.
WNBA is in a frenzy right now. The cash cow is not available to play. The golden goose is not available right now. That is Caitlin Clark. So now everyone has to get their numbers on their own. We saw Caitlin Clark bring in a whopping 1.8 million viewers for her first playoff game versus the Connecticut Sun last season. That was more than all of the other playoff games that was played that day combined. More than all of the other playoff games played that day combined.
Open any ticket marketplace and you'll see the algorithm breathing. Prices chase interest the way a thermostat chases temperature. Surge when demand spikes, sink when it cools. In a star-off night, the casual layer evaporates, and the code starts cutting to pull a different crowd. Suddenly, a playoff seat can flirt with a meal deal. That isn't embarrassment, it's exposure. Dynamic pricing reveals how much of the audience is anchored to one person versus the crest of the league itself. If your graph rides the same heartbeat as a single player, you don't need a PR plan. You need redundancy. You need more faces with pull, more storylines with teeth, and a product that sells itself even when the biggest logo sits.
Last year, the cheapest ticket available to see the Indiana Fever at the Connecticut Sun in the first round of the 2024 WNBA playoffs, $133. Let's just say it's not near that expensive this year. It's not. So right there, Indiana Fever just had Caitlin Clark cut a WWE promo.
Zoom out to contracts and calendars. Rights deals assume consistency, not comet tails. Sponsors love spikes but sign checks for reliability. You can sell a miracle quarter. You build a business on repeatable quarters. That's where leagues either scale up or stall out, by turning one-lane attention into a multi-lane highway. And that's the uncomfortable truth. A single-point failure is thrilling right up until it fails. The fix isn't to mute the star. It's to multiply the stars. Package rivalries. Spotlight contrast. Styles, personalities, regions. Make it easy for a casual to pick a side in 10 seconds and feel smart about it in 30. The minute your product becomes habit, volatility drops and prices climb.
You can get courtside seats for $200. It is $200 to go sit courtside. Second row courtside behind the basket is $200. 1 to 3 tickets. It is $200 to sit courtside this game. This is, in fact, the cheapest. It is cheaper to go to this Fever game. This is the cheapest it's been to get into the Fever all year. Why? Why is it the cheapest?
Fans don't tune in for pillow fights. They tune in for edge, skill, and consequence. But there's a difference between physical and reckless. Consistent officiating protects the show without softening the sport. The best leagues thread that needle. Let contact live. Kill the cheap stuff, and keep the stars on the floor long enough to decide games. That balance is brand. It teaches players how far the line moves and tells fans what to expect. When that line blurs, everything else blurs with it. Pace, rhythm, and even safety. You can't prevent every injury. You can remove the invitations, late hits, blindside bumps, and frustration swipes that serve no tactical purpose. Protect the product, and the product pays you back.
But I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
Last season's surge wasn't a mirage. It was a blueprint. Full buildings, sold-out nights, and social clips becoming cultural currency. Those are durable signals. The dip without the star didn't disprove anything. It diagnosed concentration risk. It told every decision-maker exactly where the leverage lives and how fragile the scaffolding is around it. And that's the good news. Diagnostics are gifts. They show you where to invest. It's not mystery, it's math. Invest in the next tier of magnets. Prime new rivalries. Put complementary talents in time slots that ride the habit you already built. Turn highlight hunters into appointment watchers. Raise the floor while you wait for your ceiling to lace up again.
Teams already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are some the league is afraid that there are some teams' games where you could get into the playoff game for $6. That is how low some of these ratings might be and how low some of these ticket prices might be.
It's easy to drown in spreadsheets and forget the simple part. People follow people. They bring their kids to see a movie, a grin, a moment they'll talk about on the car ride home. The star is a spark, but sparks love kindling. That kindling is story. The underdog who won't blink, the veteran proving everyone wrong, the two-way big who erases a possession with timing and toughness. Stack enough stories and you build warmth that survives a cold front. That's how momentum becomes culture. When the headliner returns, the roof comes off. When the headliner rests, the show still sings. That's not magic. It's planning. It's deliberate, relentless curation of what fans can care about next.
But Caitlin Clark was first. You know what would have also put asses in seats? Indiana Fever clearing Caitlin Clark to play the game of basketball. That would have done it. I promise you. I promise you that would have done it. Again, I believe we deserve to know who ordered the code red. It's a lot different if it is Caitlin Clark and her people believe that, and her medical team believe that she could not play. If it was Stephanie White in the Indiana Fever, I believe that changes everything, as far as I'm concerned.
Pressure is a forge. The nights without the headliner are auditions in plain sight. A guard steals a road game with fearless shot-making. A forward strings together 3 straight all-around clinics. A coach bets on pace instead of caution and steals tempo from a favorite. Suddenly, you're not waiting for one return. You're tracking 5 ascents. Clips travel. Narratives catch wind. Prices creep up because curiosity does. That's how you widen the funnel. Not by demanding devotion, but by earning it from different angles. The path back to full heat is a ladder. Every breakout game adds a rung. Every new face adds a reason. Every reason adds a buyer. Here.
It's $9. This is the cheapest it's been to get into an Indiana Fever game all year. This is actually the cheapest it's been. Look, I still think it's going to be nearly a sellout because I'm sorry, if I lived anywhere near Indiana, if it was 10 quid, I'd go to the game. I'd go to the game. I'd absolutely go to the game. I don't care. I'll pay $10. It's cheaper to be in the arena watching the game than it is to sit at home. Probably more expensive than it would cost to go to to pay for one game on Fever Direct, I'd say, if that's a thing.
There's one lever that compounds everything. Care. Care in scheduling. Balance rest. Minimize brutal back-to-backs. Give big matchups oxygen. Care in officiating. Consistency over noise. Clarity over vibes. Care in marketing. Don't just post the star. Tell the world why the matchup matters. Who hates switching? Who hunts corners? Who sneaks baseline for daggers? Care builds trust. Trust builds habit. Habit builds revenue that doesn't flinch when a hamstring does. When fans believe the league is protecting both the art and the artists, they invest longer. They bring friends. They commit to weekends, not just Wednesdays. The scoreboard notices. So do the spreadsheets.
So, like a lot of people, I started following the WNBA, and I'm sorry, I hate to sound cliche, but it is because of Caitlin Clark. I flew my family to Indy to catch the game opener, and it was just such an amazing thing to see. We fell in love with the city. We, of course, also fell in love with the Pacers, and we followed every game since.
So yes, seeing a playoff seat flirt with pocket change feels wild, but it's also a perfect prompt. It says, build wider, protect smarter. Turn a once-in-a-generation spark into a sustainable blaze. The league doesn't need a replacement. It needs a chorus that can hold a note when the lead singer clears her throat, because when the lead returns, the volume will be ridiculous. The trick is keeping the echo after the last shot falls. So the next time momentum wobbles, the building still hums, the feed still pops, and the marketplace remembers what heat feels like.
Is a superstar from top to bottom. You never seen a woman shoot the ball like that or pass the ball like that. It has that fire. You downplay it, you diminish it, you try to kill it. You almost killed it, but thank God Caitlin Clark is a strong human being. But the fact that they're trying to replace her with someone subpar talent, subpar in entertainment value is ridiculous, and try to give credit to those who don't really deserve credit and try to have players to be the face who aren't really the face. The one thing about the face of the league, it's not chosen by the league, it's chosen by the fans.
If this breakdown hit home, help us keep making it better. Tap subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. Hit like. It tells the algorithm you want more women's hoops analysis that cuts through the noise. And drop a comment. Which storyline should the league elevate next? Who's your under-the-radar breakout for the postseason? Your take shapes what we tackle next. Want exclusives? Join our free newsletter at basketplay.online. You'll get rapid-fire updates on women's basketball, smart tactical notes you can read in under 2 minutes, and immediate alerts when a pricing or rating story breaks. While you're there, download our free guide, a quick, punchy playbook on how star impact, schedule design, and matchup dynamics move attendance, ratings, and resale. It's free, it's practical, and it'll make you the sharpest voice in any hoops debate.